Good morning and welcome to episode 4 of Tech Stocks and Jobs with Tamika Reed and Dee Parler. Today we will be talking
Oh no,
we will be
she
talking
went
about
away.
equity and IPO and did I go away?
And she went away again. You went away. I got it. I got it. So let's start off. I hope everybody had a good
Where
week.
did I go?
A lot of things happened this week. Well, now I can hear you, but we in it now. It's okay. A lot of
Okay.
things happened
All
this
right.
week. There were a lot of SPACs this week. So we're gonna start with some things that I found, and some things I'm just not gonna be able to cover because it's kind of, I think I got like 13 or 14 to cover. But one of the ones that shot up this week, I'm actually in that stock. Let me see where my um bring this over. Where we go? That's not the right one. Where'd you go, little buddy? This one is CCIV, and it shot up this week from Charles Schwab. Here we go. All right, so one we're looking at, that's on the screen right now is Bumble, but we're gonna go to CCIV, and we're gonna look at how much it jumped yesterday. And I covered this. This is Lucid Technologies. So it's supposed to be Lucid. It's the automotive. It may not be technologies, but anyway, Churchill Capital. If you look at, I think I was in it. I was looking at it yesterday. It shot up from $33 to $41. 41.37 was the high yesterday. I've been watching this stock for a while, and it's never shot up that much in one day, which is actually quite odd. But I think so. There may be a big announcement, but that stock has been rising. If you don't remember CCIV or Lucid Technologies, Lucid Motors, I don't know why I keep calling it Lucid. Anyway, this is the new car that's coming out, and I went over this before about their jobs, but just to recap, let's go back down here and look at careers. Um, let's see what we find down here. Company leadership. Let's see if it's on about. Oh, there we go. Careers right here. All right. Just keep scrolling here. They don't have anything listed. That's interesting. Let's see what happens when I click on Discover. All right, here we go. All right, so all teams autonomous driving. And remember about, if you ever been to our meetups and I talk about embedded Linux, and I talk about uh, coding in C, this is what that comes out of. This is more what I'm talking about. Then we're talking about data, autonomous data engineer, camera technology specialist, data engineer, autonomous driving software and machine learning. Here we go, embedded software engineer. They're using LiDAR, a map strategist, ArcGIS comes to mind when I hear that. Radar technology specialist, a senior manager for autonomous sensor hardware group, senior system engineer, simulation software engineer, senior software motion planner. So all those things. So then the other piece that you connect this with, right? When I talk about embedded engineering, we can go embedded engineer, and we go to Linux Foundation. Right. So over here at the Linux Foundation, they have training for right here. for IoT and embedded development, right? You can get scholarships for these classes, so don't be alarmed by the price tag. But developing embedded Linux drivers, device drivers, I talk about that in our meetup too, about device drivers, all of, again, engaging with the kernel, and so forth. So remember, I talk about those things. I've been told to make the screen bigger, but okay, that's what I got. So Linux kernel debugging and security. Again, when you're thinking about Linux kernels, device drivers, remember everything on the operating system, including Microsoft, has a kernel. That's how that's how your actual hardware talks to the OS is through the kernel. So that's why it's super huge. So, and then you're talking about security as well too. So imagine someone has written some software or a driver that has a back door for a piece of hardware, and you throw that into your kernel. Remember, we're talking about device drivers here. So again, a loophole someone can get into. So that, that's why you hear a lot of stuff about these power plants and these grids, those PLCs being hacked and so forth. Because now we're talking about back doors that are open, things people never really check. So everybody's been pretty vulnerable on when it comes to that. And then embedded Linux development, and then embedded Linux platform development. Let's look at that. Linux, okay, that's with the Yocto project. All right, that's a spinoff. D knows about this. So we go here to the Yocto project. There is a couple of books out about the Yocto project, but you can probably just go down to their website and get more information here. Again, I know it's a rabbit hole, but here's a Yocto engineer. Here's some jobs that they have listed with HP. Even if you went to Indeed, I'm sure you'll probably find either or Yocto or embedded. Let's just look up Yocto. All right. So by me just typing in Yocto, this is what I'm returning: embedded software, medical devices. I was on Erica Live yesterday, and a guy who was working in healthcare wanted to move over into IT, and I was saying keep your healthcare and combine IT together. Here, this is just one avenue. Senior software engineer, embedded Linux application software intern, senior system development engineer. All right, so now let's go and look up embedded engineering. This is all stemming off of Lucid Motors, spinning off, looking at what kind of jobs they had. We saw that they're getting ready to IPO. They're supposed to merge with Churchill Capital, and then on top of that, we're looking at the jobs that they have. So when we're looking at these things, we want to try to look at and make connections. Like when you think of a car, don't think of a car just as a car. Think of a car as all these other things that it have involved with it. All right. So now let's go and look at back on Indeed.com. Let's look up embedded engineer or embedded software engineer, either or, not emergency technician. Click on the one thing. Embedded engineer. All right. So as we look up embedded engineer, whenever it decides to change. All right. So when we're looking at embedded engineer, we're looking at you see senior firmware developer engineer. Firmware. Okay. When you're thinking about firmware, you need to hop into the mindset of hardware. All right. So if you're looking at firmware from let's say you have a Dell server or HP server that has firmware, Your phone has firmware. Any of your mobile devices, they all have firmware. Your camera, everything, they all have some type of firmware. And then here they're looking at firmware engineer, hardware design engineer, electrical engineer, embedded software, C++, including C as well too. Should be on here somewhere. Software engineer, firmware, IoT embedded engineer. Let's look at that. So when we see IoT embedded engineer, I'm not sure if you can see that. Blow that up a little bit. You see in embedded C and embedded C++, Python, Elixir, Phoenix, Nerves, AWS, IoT, AWS Lambda, serverless, SageMaker. All right. So now if you go down this rabbit hole and you say, okay, I want to get into that position, or I want to know more about these different tools and technologies, literally go out and look these up. So open up another tab and type in AWS SageMaker. Right. So machine learning. AWS SageMaker is a fully managed service that provides every developer and data scientist with the ability to build and train and deploy machine learning. All right. So, okay. So that means I can go to AWS and make me an account and start playing with it. Right. So they have introducing SageMaker, and they also have the getting started with SageMaker. And I'm pretty sure you could probably go out to somebody's GitHub repo or even on YouTube and find different GitHub repos or different code that just to play with and get started, just to get a basic understanding. Okay, cool. I can get the basics. Lambda and serverless, same thought process. IoT, same. Elixir and Phoenix, you can do the same, but I think Elixir is probably an uphill battle right now if you're just starting out. You probably want to start here. Well, some people may think start here, but I know between C and Python, the community is big, and I'm sure the community is big with Elixir. Phoenix, I'm not sure about, and Nerves, I'm not sure about. So don't quote me on those two. And then they're looking for someone for a mobile device as well too. So again, when you start thinking about these different avenues, just think, where it's a rabbit hole, but the rabbit hole leads you to like how to piece everything together. The other thing too is like when you're looking at, and I spoke on this week, when you're looking at these jobs, try to make a visual of of how everything comes together, right? Being able to let me when I talk about this, let me pull up my Lucid chart. That's why I keep saying Lucid motor charts, because there is a Lucid charts out there. And that's why I keep saying it. Let me pull up my other screen. Let me get out of this mode here. There we go. All right. So back on Chrome, we're going to go to Lucid Chart or Lucid Charts, the app. And when I'm talking about making a visual, here's where I'm talking about making a visual at. So if you see this on my screen here, you'll see that I have a visual representation of what this could actually what you could pull together when you're talking about like all those different technologies and how they work together. So on my Lucid chart, I'm showing like, hey, this is Jira. Here's how Fortify goes into play. Here's how to do source code and SEM. Here's automation. Here's a container. Like here's all those things that you pull together to make a visual of all those technologies. So don't be afraid to take just a piece of paper and draw out like how would that work? How would you get information to that device? How would you automate getting information to that device? How would you pull information from the device? Where would you store it? So draw it all out. Draw out your CI/CD pipeline. automate these things, and study GitOps and those methodologies. All right, so down to the knitting grit. All right, Bumble, ticker symbol BUMBL. All right, so Bumble, right here. Go back. All right, Bumble. BMBL. Bumble rose yesterday. Was IPO this week. I think they was saying that. Let me pull this up. It was supposed to be priced at $43 a share on this IPO. And then they filed to go public in January. And it's offered a price range on February the 2nd from $28 to $30, and then it raised its price to $37 to $39 last week. They raised $2.15 billion by selling 50 million shares. And it's so funny because D and I actually talked about doing a dating app, and we were told nobody's interested in dating apps. Nobody, no, it's only a few players out there. Now, here we are, like 3 or 4 years later, with a dating app IPO it in the billions. But hey, so you can look at it for the day, right? So they say the low was $71. So my assumption over 5 days is that that $30 never took place, because here's the low right here of 70, and this is for the week in the IPO this week. So that tells me that never actually happened. And their high was $84.80. So let's look at careers at Bumble. All right, so we have several job openings across different locations. If you click here, you'll see everywhere, and then Austin. What I was able to find was most of the jobs that were technical, like what we usually talk about, were in the UK. So here's data analyst, community design, engineering. So Android, front end, SOC manager, SOC analysis, full stack, iOS, and then senior PHP. So the one that I did want to look at, if you want to look at the senior full stack engineer, and then you want to hop down here and start looking at the required skills here. Backend development, PHP, SQL queries, MySQL, JavaScript, React, knowledge of the Linux console, strong will to learn, JVM languages are bonuses, blah, 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 blah. So that's what they have there. You'll be able to, you'll be writing to large scale backend APIs, over 50,000 requests per second on PHP backend. Backend code and design of databases. To optimize backend, look for bottlenecks, and as in when necessary. So when I think of that, I'm immediately thinking of distributed tracing and debugging. And you can use probably something like Datadog or something like that. But then I also think of Zipkin and Zipkin.io when we're talking about this and so forth. So Zipkin distributed tracing, helping with gathering timing data and so forth. When we're that, and this is a quick start. You can go out and do a quick start on that. And it also had a chat room on Zipkin Getter chat channel, right? And then they got an open source one. So just something to think about. So that was the jobs I found. They also have jobs located in Austin, Texas. So let's go back and look at that location. So in Austin, and we'll look at remote. Remote, I didn't see much. So Austin, we got finance, HR, marketing, and strategy operations. See, I didn't see many tech like engineering jobs. I didn't see that here. Let's go to remote, freelance product. Not much there. And then if we go down to Mexico, this is what I got. So, like I say, most of the tech jobs are out of the UK. Like they're probably more UK based. Let's see if that's they consider headquarters, and they opened up one here in the States. If a Cuban contact us, see, yeah, yeah, right here, English United Kingdom. So that lets you know, yeah, they're UK based, headquartered, and probably have an office here in Austin. All right, so that was all on Bumble. Let's now look at one of the ones that I thought was interesting this week was the Vision Fund. I don't know if you all are aware of the Vision Fund, so let's go here. Oops. All right, Vision Fund. All right, so in this Vision Fund, reason why I brought this up, we can come over here and we'll type in. I think it was $844 billion that it gained this uh, this year or last year. Let's see, it grew. Vision Fund growth. Let's look that up. I don't know why I didn't keep that link up last night. Let's close it. Came out in my SPAC, but hold on, let me pull up my email here. I'll tell you in 1 second. Doo-doo-doo. Tell you 1 second that number. I'll pull it up on screen because I went and checked to see who's in the Vision Fund. Um, it's several companies in the Vision Fund. It's from Softbank. Yep. All right, here we go. Here's what I was talking about. This is why I brought it up. I brought it up because Softbank Vision Fund breaks profit in a record on IPO. Boom. The Vision Fund posted a record of $844.1 billion. So I said, well, who's all in the Vision Fund? All right, so if we go look at the Vision Fund, it's on this tab, and you come over here to their portfolio, and you look at their customers, or you see Fanatics, Flipkart, Cloak. Let's keep going. There's some names you're gonna start to see that speak out to you. See, that's an ed tech enterprise. Let me know if I'm going too fast. I use my arrow. Slack. And let's go into fintech. Cabbage, I've heard of them. Who else comes in here? Frontier Arm, Cloud Winds, Cloud Mines, I should say, not Winds. Nvidia, all out of this one. Then we get into health tech. So out of this fund, it's multiple entities out of this fund, and they profited $844.1 billion. So just something to think about when you're looking at these different companies are what they're a part of and so forth. So That was my thought process. DoorDash, there you go. For this one, um, and that's from Softbank. So I didn't go through and look up jobs at these. I figured you could probably go look up these jobs because there are a lot of companies out of that, and you can get by region. Um, they'll sort for you here by what's in the Americas. Americas. So there you go. All right. So just keep in mind when you're looking up that vision fund there. All right. The next ticker symbol we want to look at is Nautilus. Is NAUT. All right. So Nautilus, as you can see, this is what it looked like for a month. Low of 19, a high of 31. You can look at it what it looked like for that day, for yesterday, over the 5 days, over the month. All right. So what is Nautilus? So here you go. Nautilus is a biotechnology uh, backed by Jeff Bezos, and have they actually had a value. This one is this is February the 8th. Their latest valuation is 1.3 billion for their valuation. I'll pull that up here. And they're going for $10 a share. All right. What else is important out of this is the founder of the Isilon, which I'm assuming that this Isilon is the hardware Isilon, the actual storage unit. Uh, Sujal Patel is the latest company to go public under a purpose acquisition or a SPAC. And this was announced on Monday. They injected approximately 350 million into Nautilus and its value. So uh, that and it's backed by Jeff. So imagine that, right? Let's go look at their stock listings here. Seattle acknowledged the startup to get 350 million in their stock listing be on a blank check deal. Uh, this one was announced February the 8th as well, too, updated on the 9th. All right, pretty recent. And then let's look at their jobs. All right, so the jobs that they have bioinformatics, chip fabrication, senior director of people and culture, hardware engineering, senior electrical is it fluids? Fluid, that's not fluids. I don't want to say that on here. Senior opto mechanical engineer, probe development and qualification, R&D, software engineer, data centralization, and data processing. So, what is actually Nautilus doing? Let's go to their website, Nautilus Technologies. Let's look up Nautilus. And keep calling Nautilus Technologies. It's Nautilus Bio Technology. All right, Nautilus Biotechnology. Here we go. This is their site. Seek to revolutionize biomedical research by delivering single molecule proteomics platform for analyzing and quantifying the human proteome. We were founded on belief that incremental improvements to existing technologies would not suffice, that a bold scientific leap is required to radically reinvent that word there. All right. So let's see. Basic science and research. See, it's a large scale of proteome that mean the tens of thousands of proteins expressed within a cell, tissue, or organism. This is highly varied and dynamically changing across every cell in the human body. So I'm assuming that there were human trials done too. Understanding proteins and how they are controlled is critical because they are functional drivers of every aspect of human physiology, from how we develop in the womb to susceptible we are to diseases. And I would not be surprised if ARC is not a part of this as well too. Let's look at investors who have it. All right, so you can replay the conference call that they had. Um, here's them listed on there. They don't have a list of investors, so let me look. Let me blow that up right quick. Right, $10 a share. Investors in the pipe include led by Perceptive Investors, affiliate of Aura's, I guess the third sponsor, RA Capital, Ally Bridge, Bain Capital, Life Science, Franklin Templeton, uh, OrbiMed, I guess Alyiska Investment, Cassidian Capital, and existing biotechnology shareholders, and Anderson Horowitz. See that? Madrona, and they've been big. They've been talked about a couple of times this year, and Vulcan Capital. There you go. Who's all got their hands in the pot and who's all invested in it. All right. So the next ticker we want to look at is this company is called Volta. Is VLTFF. Or see, they didn't come up. Let me look and see if they'll come up on the Volta. Oh, so let's go over here. Let's pull this up. This is they do charging stations. It's part of the EV charging stations for this. So they have, if you want to advertise, if you want to become a site partner, or you want to have them installed at your location, and then also find a driver. So this, I found this interesting because I wasn't sure like I wanted to know what the return on investment is for that. Suppose you have a EV charge, a gas station, or you just have some station somewhere with some amenities around it for people to come and get their fuel, well, their energy, and go from there. Here, let's go look at their jobs while we're here. All right, QA engineering, software engineering, cloud, senior software engineering. Let's click on see which cloud they're in. Probably AWS. Yep. Cloud formations, Lambda, APIs, so forth. There you go. Let's go back. Finance, marketing, network development, enterprise program manager, network planning, utility solutions analyst, people, products, product design, and sales. I don't see like a sales engineering, site sales, and then additional openings, business and systems and IT, senior Salesforce developer and administrator, and then paralegal. So there you have it for Volta. They also have a presentation. If you want to check out their presentation as well too, you can check that one out. All right. Oh yeah, let's look up to see if I can find it. If they VLTFF. See if does that come up. There we go. And what I couldn't find is like I don't know if they IPO'd yet or not. But they do have a symbol, right? And it looks like there's some ups and downs on it. But I could not find that. I couldn't find nothing else on it. All right. So I don't know. So see, yeah, starting Volta. This is finance. This is different. Wonder if this is the finance part of it. Let's see. Volta charging station. EV. Let's see. Planning. Here we go. That's 2 days ago. planning 500 charging points for EV by 2025. Shell becomes the latest company to swept up in the EV charging boom. Shell is planning to roll out 500,000 electric charging stations in 4 years in the latest sign of EV. Again, huge money coming out of this Biden plan and these EV deals. Um, the beginning of the year, three companies have been acquired by specs vehicles and are on the path to go public, while the third has raised tens of millions. All right. Then they start talking about EVGO in this one, and I started to go down this one, but I just don't have time. I got too many more to go through here, um, to spiral off. You can catch these links probably back on the replay as well too. All right, so we know now this not EVGO. We know now this uh, Volta uh, has and Shell, they got 500 electric charging stations that they're rolling out. Again, it goes back to that partnership that I was talking about that they have, that you can do with these charging stations, is what is the return? Like, say you wanted to purchase one, or you want to have one installed at your gas station, or in your area, on, or even on some land or something that you own and you got a little deli or something like that. What is the return on, money wise, on that, right? um Average spend per visit. Okay, here we go. Average spend per visit is $54. Average dwell time, meaning that's how long people sit around. So, make something convenient for them, to do, and so forth. Again, money on money, right? L2, DC fast, the different ones, towers, white glove installation by the team, pull up and go, shared customized content depending on your venue, grocery, stadium, malls, movies, city parking. I was thinking more city parking. And then going from there. So just, let your money make money, right? All right. So the next ticker symbol we want to look at is MTTR. This is Matterport. So they didn't come up there. So let's go over here. Let me use this link here. So this is 3D space. So this is interesting, because I heard about this last year, and they're getting ready to IPO. Let me pull that up for Matterport. Hold on, wrong. It's on one of these, but that's okay. Let me pull that up for you. All right, Matterport. Matterport, spatial data company leading digital transformations, or announces the proposed bus line. Let's go back and look at Matterport from here. See right there. Boom. All right. This SPAC is due to go public in $2.9 billion, for a virtual walkthrough. Where did I see this at? Okay, I'll tell you. I saw this on Meet Kevin's YouTube channel. Here's Alex, where he talks about going around using Matterport to do 3D scanning in houses. And this guy here, and including Meet Kevin, have been using this particular uh, uh, technology to do their 3D visual stuff, and been making 100,000 a year. That's why I saw that last year, and I had started investigating, and I just never went back to it. So Matterport. Let's get into. They got. They have some on their site. Um, they have different videos. Here's the pricing, right? Where you can get the stand and all of that. So for those of you that are into like real estate and want to do like the 3D scans and so forth, so here it is right here, limited for 3,000. Something to consider that you want to go take pictures of someone housing, do the 3D. Here's a gallery where you can go take a look at what those 3D pictures end up looking like. Just give you an idea and go from there. All right. So remember, something to think about. All right. So Matterport, let's look at their jobs. And also, we'll get into something else, like if you don't want to buy their stuff. All right. So here's what they got 3D modeling. Oh, get out the way. UX, customer success manager, director of business development and alliances, and these right here were remote. These customer service and senior product development, design, those were remote. Sales, they have some in Hong Kong, some are remote. More sales, release engineers, software, all of their stuff, computer vision are remote. When I think of computer vision, I automatically think of OpenCV. Um, Here, we got an OpenCV AI, but I think of OpenCV when I'm thinking about computer vision. That was something I was into a while back. So let's see, Matterport. Yep. Um, Marketing, employee success, and legal. So basically, what I see around is just centered around software. Well, here you go. They consider that software. Senior infrastructure engineer. It's considered software. Deep learning. Mobile software engineer. Um, Sales engineer. Sales engineer. And UX researcher. That's what I see. What else I found about them was they also have an SDK. So those of you all that want to utilize, you can use the APIs or their SDK in order to write your own, your own code, what have you, you know, just some options. And last but not least, who are their investors? All right. So Matterport stock, notable investors, Parametric Technology, headquartered out of Sunnyvale, uh, total funding 168 million. The investors are listed here: Box Group, CBRE, Concrete Venture, GIC, Greylock, Red Swan, Y Combinator, Sound Venture. So this is who is invested in them, and I think the IPO was 2.9 billion, correct? Or they evaluated at 2.9 billion, right? Yep. All right. So that was Matterport um, coming out, right? Oh, and also take note of this site, EquityZen. Why? Because this is how you can get in and buy and sell pre-IPO stock on some of these companies. And then here's the listing of who that they all have in there. I'll try to get this over to the chat. The chat. Let me find the screen first so I can get this over there. Okay, yeah, I did. I did this one. Is my screen being shared? I'm back. I'm in the show now. Sorry. All right.
No worries. I was tagging you in, just waiting on your screen. Here it goes.
All right. All right. So the next one is this one's out of Atlanta. Calendly. Right. I don't know if you all are familiar. Let's pull this up. Why they're important. Founded by some brothers. All right. They are now estimated at a 3.8. They're now estimated at 3 billion. They raised 350 million. They are here it is right here. Uh, the CEO's Tope. I want Tona. I might have screwed that all up, but that's as close as I can get. Pricing ranges from free calendars for $8 for premium. Pro is $12 a month. Um, here is another another article out of the Atlanta Voice. Here's Tope. I hope it's not Tope. I hope I didn't say that one. I said hope it's Tope. But either way, in 2020, they posted $70 million in annual revenue, over double its figures from the year prior. By all means, it has been considered a unicorn in terms of the business and success, and that's out of Atlanta. So now, if we can go back to Calendly, let's look at see if they got careers listed somewhere. Jobs. So full stack, senior full stack, voice customer program, project manager, in-house counsel, head of IT, Android, um, senior product manager, senior security engineer, um, head of marketing, head of go-to-market operations, financial planning, and procurement and vendor management specialist. And it looks like all of these say remote if you're looking at them. Let's go back. Yep, they all say remote. So, just something to be aware of. I'll post this in the chat. Hopefully, I won't log myself out. Ah, okay. All right. So, when we're looking at the next one, this one came up with two symbols. It is, let me close some of these down before they start. Uh, get my computer down. All right, so the next ticker symbol we want to look at is XOS. Yep, see, it doesn't come up. Sorry, company is XOX, but it's NGA that we want. Northern Genesis acquisition, and then there's Northern Genesis acquisition C with a corp. So let's go one day out, and then 5 days. See that, and then 1 month out, right? All right. So what's so special about this particular one? Let's pull this up, and I'll pull that up in my. So it's electric. It's an electric truck maker. Um, and they're going public, which could value at 2 billion. This came out February the 8th. This is what their trucks look like. Do 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 do. All right. So what else about them? Let's go over here. pull this one up. This is what I found on Reddit. During talks to go public merger, blah blah blah. Next gen to bill. See XOS and next gen decline to comment. So that's why I got the XOS from. Northern Hollywood, California-based XOS, which rebranded itself from Thor in 2019, builds electric trucks designed to replace equivalent diesel vans. Next Gen is so-called special or SPAC with ex-Goldman Sachs Group, Inc. banker George Mattson and Gregory Soom. You can look those people up. And the latest company developing an electric truck to go public through a merger with SPAC, following the likes of Nikola and Lion Electric. I think I have them on here, but we'll double check. All right, the next link we're gonna look at is the investors who are set to go public with this particular group. And we're not even halfway done, people. I'm just playing. We are almost halfway done. But I still have a few to go. Come on, Link. You can do it. Okay, while that's coming up. There you go. Okay, see, there's the ticker symbol, NGAC. I looked up NGA. You can look up NGA and then NGAC. And then they talk about how it fell. It did. You saw that on the ticker symbol. Let's go look up NGAC. NGAC. See? Let's see how that looks. See if we get the same. Okay, different. All right. So 1 day out, you had like Thursday, then up 5 days out, low 10 shot up to a 14. I'm assuming this is probably when they IPO, maybe. And then down, and then a month out, you can see like, yeah, I guess this is the day they probably went public or something, and then boom, down. Because if you go 3 months, it's gone. Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, they all started the same, so 1 month. Right here. All right. Let's see. I have more information on them. They had a $2 billion go to public round. That's what their truck looks like. You probably get more of their looks online. Let's go here. All right, here's a better look at the truck. XOS, NGAC, and Lion Electric. Okay, that's why I was looking up NGA. Are both set to go public. Just look on here for Lion. So we talked about the other one. Saw the question. Hold on 1 second. On the other hand, Lion Electric already has a merger deal with already signed with MD. Okay, and with the SPAC. Okay, so the SPAC is under this and closed the transaction Q1 2021. Lion Electric manufactures a wide variety of all electric medium and heavy duty urban vehicles. These include school buses, shuttle buses, Class 6 and Class 8 trucks. School buses and shuttle buses are huge because that means you can go into every school district, around the world pretty much, who all have school buses or who all want to utilize school buses. All right. See, and here's more. So D has all these links. So look right here. Let's examine which company has a better growth prospectus or prospects. Lion is targeting a total addressable market of 110 billion. Moreover, the company is already producing EVs at the facility in Montreal, Quebec, with a capacity of 25 units per year. So they'll be looking to build. So here we go. So you have those links. All right. So let me see what questions that we had. Let me look. Lordstown Motors. Do you think that's a good electric company? I don't know. I will have to look them up. Let's look it up. Lordstown Motors. And let me look at my email and see if I got anything on them. Okay, what's this? Okay, they already have stock out here. What is their ticker? Let's look up Lordstown. All right, I only got one match on this site. All right, let's go back out. Ooh, this ain't good. That ain't good. That was in January. All right, caught on fire. This was published in the Farmington Press. Inside EVs began investigating the details surrounding the incident and the cause, and we managed to learn a whole lot. Farmington Hills authorities provided us with the information and pictures due to our Freedom of Information Act request. And they had rims on it too. According to Farmington Hill authorities, after driving for about 10 minutes, noticed the vehicle was moving weirdly. He stopped in the eastbound of the 12-mile road, just east of Copper Creek Lane. And according to police officers who arrived after 12:31 January 13th, said, I do not want to Pamathathan said that the Endurance started on fire from underneath. So Fred, what do I think? You want to buy one? You buy it and then you let me know. You buy it and then let me know. All right. So the last but not least on Lion.
What is going on, investors?
This is a link that I found. There's several articles out there about it, but the Lion sold 2,500 trucks to Amazon. So that was super huge for that. All right. So that was ticker symbol NGA and NGAC. That was with Lion, LION, and XOS electric ones, not Lordstown. We were not pumping up Lordstown. Hey, we all got to catch on fire at some point, right? Just not while I'm trying to drive it. All right. The next one is one of my favorites. Just go buy this truck. This if you're gonna buy this truck. I'm not advertising. I'm not saying like it's the best, but what I'm saying is I heard good. It can't be nothing but some good reviews coming out of it. Why? Here's why. Because Amazon ordered 100,000 of these, and they're already on the road. For this one, and going carbon neutral by 2040. So they've already ordered some of these. Some of them are already on the road. So if you're gonna buy anything, I would look at that automaker right here. In fact, they're due to IPO, I think this week, or no, before September is what it is. Not this week. It's before September. Let's look at what that was. I'm pulling up what that looks like. Yeah, aim for IPO. I'm looking on my other computer right now. Hold on. Okay. Here. It's looking to go public as soon as September at a valuation of 50 billion, perhaps more. That's who I would be looking at. All right. So with that being said, let's go explore their particular careers. Give it a minute. All right, they got the different locations. I saw that at the top up here. Locations, job openings. Okay, it's on this page. All right, so here's the locations. So Michigan, California, Arizona, UK, British Columbia, Vancouver. All right, so you can just hit the plus sign. This is where you'll find vehicle engineering and prototyping and supply chain. Here they have software stack. This is in Palo Alto, so that probably more like what we would be looking at. Head out housing and vehicle design and propulsion and battery system development. All right. Electric power conversion and charger and motor development. Core of engineers and technicians who conduct developmental testing. So this is probably more like you're researching. And thermal performance and efficiency. Engineers on our advanced concepts of body, lighting, teaming, and can be found in walking that focus not only on making sure our exceed customer expectations, but R1T and R1S, but also future Rivian products. And then the one in Vancouver, our vehicle management and software team. So it looks like Vancouver and then the one in Palo Alto are probably more our speed when it comes to jobs. Here's the job openings. You can go by location. Let's go to United States. See, you got Georgia, Florida. I'm curious about Florida. Project manager and service charging. Let's go. All right. So again, I just pulled up everything here. Associate robotic engineer. We talked about that earlier. Don't be surprised embedded is not in here. Charging, customer, cyber risk analysis, analyst, not analysis. Cybersecurity intern, data science, deep learning, design for reliability, desktop administrator, diagnostic system calibration engineer, electrical, field firmware integration. Knew that was coming back up. Image processing algorithm engineer. Tons. So again, California and then the different locations within the states that they have: Miami, Georgia, Illinois. This is what they have under Illinois. So just something to think about there. I don't know if they have a ticker symbol just yet. I have to look that one up. All right. Got two more to go. This one is called OppFi, and it's Op Finance. They call OppLoans. So let me pull that up for you on why we're looking at them. So we're looking at them as a fintech company. It says listed as a blank check form for special purpose, expected blah 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 blah. No. Let me go back and see if they got their IPO information. Nothing on it just yet, but They do have some jobs out here, and this is considered fintech. Now I'm waiting for that link to come up. Let me see if I see anything else on here. All right, so operations, chat, advocates, credit, finance, internship, loans, product, strategy development, and technology. Under technology, DevOps, Salesforce, full stack, Salesforce, software, Ruby, Closure, I should say, full stack. I think the difference between the DevOps engineer and the senior DevOps was one is 5 years, the other one is 2 years, I think it was. Yeah, this one is 5, as you can see, basic AWS, Terraform Cloud, GitHub Actions, so forth and so on. If you go back and look at the DevOps one, it's 2 years. And then you see such platform as AWS, Azure, GCP. I am thinking they're probably looking at a multi-cloud strategy possibly for this. Possibly. Don't quote me though, but possibly. If they want you to know that. And I wonder if, because they're doing banking, I wonder if there's a requirement to have stuff on prem as well too, as well as in AWS. I wonder if that's why they said uh, at least one. They don't really care. I guess they may have a multi cloud or on prem private cloud type of strategy as well too with that one. And the last but not least is HYZON, HYZON. All right, so here's why I pulled them up. All right, so Heisen Motors deals with decarbonization of plus. They're doing 2.7 billion. Uh, Here is more information on them on YouTube. If you want to check out what that is, total investment in fuel cell startup Heisen. If you want to check that out. And last but not least, on Tuesday, and I'm reading this verbatim. Here we go. Tuesday, Heisen received 626 million in cash. Roughly 226 will go directly to Decarbonization Plus Acquisition Corp, augmented by 400 million private investment in public equity led by BlackRock. We talked about them two episodes ago. Check them out, BLK. So you know if BlackRock is into them, and they just put up like $8 million into, I think it was Vine Therapeutics, I think it was. So you know they have money laying around. So when we're talking about BlackRock, you can just go here and look up BLK. And I went through and showed you different jobs about BlackRock. So they've been around forever. You see there what they have with their dividends. Let's look over 5 years. You can see that. You can go over here to dividends and look at what that looks like, right? 6.72, 7.2, and I think these are based on the year. I think they announced when I looked at this a couple of weeks ago, they announced that their dividends would be, I think, so it's every quarter. So it's rounded up 15 divided by 4, so roughly around about 3 something. So we're talking about let's see, in November they came out with 363. This year they announced each the dividends will be $4 and some odd change. It jumped from this 363 to $4. So BOK is in one of their investments. So if you go, probably if you probably open up an account on BlackRock, you could probably find an ETF with all these in there. Or you probably find an ETF with them not in BlackRock, but probably get a better deal if you're in BlackRock for those. If that's a company you're interested in combining with. All right, that was everything, and I still didn't get through some of the stuff. The ones I didn't get through are, see, we got through Rivian and we got through HYZON. I didn't get a chance to go over Beachbody. I didn't get a chance to go over Apex, Ledecky, um, Panacea, ET Rover, Archer. I didn't get Av Point and Metro Mill. I didn't get a chance to go over those. I knew this was going to be packed. I knew there was going to be a lot, but at least you got a chance to see the jobs. You know what they're looking for, the different locations, who makes investments into them. That's super important. Or like who's backing them. And then I would go further to find out more about those venture companies that are backing them from that perspective. So you know what's going on when you're looking at them. The next week, I'll try to pick up with what we have left here, and also I like to go over the Fortune 500 companies, right? That's the real premise behind this, is like looking at who's on the list for the Fortune 500 companies, and then you could go down each one of these companies and say, okay, well, who on this list would I like to work at and why? All right. So when you're looking at them, you can look and see, you know, who has what. You see Amazon, Walmart is at the top of Amazon. I'm assuming this is by revenue here that they have them up here. They also have their market value, you know, just things to look at as you are looking at these companies. Berkshire Hathaway, United Group, McKinsey, AT&T, you know, let's do 50 rows. Alphabet, Ford Motor, right? Chevron. These are all Fortune 500 companies, right? Um, and these are locate. I don't want to say location, but these are places that all. If you really think about every last one of these, I mean, like, if we're just being honest with ourselves, everybody on here is a tech company to me. I mean, you're talking about logistics. You're talking about keep even with Kroger, stocking shelves, buying groceries offline, logistics, the cashiers, the cash registers, the software at the cash register, the when you're going to check out, coupons, delivery, like the app, the whole nine. Like everybody is a tech company, and wherever there's tech, that's where we should be. That's where we should be looking at for jobs. So um you know, these are just things that I want you to be aware of. So we looked at the specs that come out. I get an email. I get them every day, probably 2 or 3 times a day. That's just on the specs. Then we still have the Fortune 500 companies that we need to look at and talk about those jobs and those careers and so forth and so on. Then we also need to talk about the ones that don't even make it to the spec, that are just startups, right? So that gets into your TechCrunch and Extra Crunch is their other site. And then we still, out of all of this, we still have little niches that we need to discuss, from embedded engineering to quantum computing to high performance computing, even into the healthcare arena, where we're talking about healthcare IT. There's just a lot of stuff that when we're talking about tech and how to get more people into tech and where to go to. You can see that the list is. This is just a Fortune 500. We didn't do the Fortune 1000, right? We didn't even do that. So just be aware of the different angles and of ways to get in tech and the different companies that you can be invested in as you go down this journey. Um, I think I've covered everything. If you got questions, let me know. If you have anything that you want us to discuss, you can email us. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please like and subscribe. Please leave comments. Please share this with people. Please share it with people who are just trying to get into tech. Please share it with people who are in tech and want to transition. Those things are super huge for them. I think this is valuable information for them, just to open up your eyes and give you a different perspective of what's going on. One final note, the other big piece, and when we're looking at these, are all of the government contracts and the backers of them. If you follow along with some of these, not just YouTubers, but just some of the people who are doing investments. One of the big ones that come up this week, that come up often, is Lockheed Martin. So Lockheed Martin, it has been doing a lot of investing into stuff, and especially on the EV side. And the other one is space, right? So we see that the headquarters for um, Space Force is moving to Alabama. So when we're talking about Space Force moving to Alabama, what does that mean? It means jobs. That means somebody has to build houses. That means somebody has to turn around and have schools. We have to have food. I mean, we got everything. And my little hair sticking up. I always get this confused. There we go. Oh, this I don't know. Confused. But anyway, you see it. Anyway, but again, just overall, think about, well, what that could look like for you and what that could look like for others as you go on your career path into tech, and also where you start building your wealth. That's the goal, is to build wealth. And I thank you all for coming out, and I also hope this provides good information. Until we meet again next week, see you next week.